Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings, salutations as always to the hopefully elect. So back with another lesson, going in on what's going on with Syria and in that so-called Middle East region as a whole. Things are extremely hot over there, and we know this is all due to biblical prophecy. This is where the Lord wants to gather all the nations together to bring over to that region to destroy them all. All right, this is where the Lord is going to do his judgment at. All right, but it's mainly going to take place in the land of Israel. All right, them small hats that's over there, they're raging as well. They're looking to take over the whole of that Middle East region for the resources, for the strategic locations. It's all ill-gotten gain at the end of the day. In Salakia, I'm getting over an ailment, so if I sound a little congested or got to clear my throat here and there, that's what it is. But Lord willing, this lesson is still edifying. So this right here from End Time Headlines: U.S. strikes dozens of ISIS camps and operatives in Syria amid downfall of brutal dictator. Now we got to put quotations on brutal, all right, because we see this is what Esau does, all right, whenever he wants to go into a land and destroy and, take things that don't belong to him. All right, he always labels the leader of that nation as a brutal dictator, or he's a tyrant, or he's doing something ill to his own people, right? We've seen the same thing time and time again. Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, all right, just to name a few. All right, so the latest one is Bashar Assad, all right, which was the former leader of Syria. Now he's in Russia under asylum, okay? And really, the whole reason why they even coming after this guy is because years ago, I forget exactly which nation it was, but they wanted to build a natural gas and oil pipeline through Syria directly into Europe. But of course, and they wanted to do that to bypass Russia. But Bashar Assad, you know, he was pretty much like, nah, I'm not going to have you Europeans build a pipeline through my land, all right? Because, of course, that would have been grounds for them to go into Syria anyway and say, well, look, we have our pipeline running through here. So now we have certain rights, what I'm saying? We have certain, things that we can do now, all right? There's certain laws that they can enact on Syrian soil, all right? But he wasn't with that. So, they've been in Syria for years conducting operations. I mean, Syria has been a hotbed of war for many years now, all right? But it's just to the point now where Bashar Assad, he's been ousted from his leadership, all right? And look at now how it says they're striking ISIS, right? Which we know ISIS is a creation of Central Intelligence, the CIA, all right? ISIS was set up, man, all right, for times such as this, to where they can go in and they can say, oh, we have to fight ISIS. Which really, when you look at that whole logic, why is it that America is so involved in the affairs of other nations, all right? You don't think that Syria could fight terrorists within their own nation, but no, America has to be world police, and they got to go in there, and they have to oust the terrorists. By the way, these are, proxy groups, that they created, all right, to justify themselves going in and doing what you see here. The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, conducted dozens of airstrikes on known ISIS camps and operatives in central Syria on Sunday to prevent the terrorist organization from taking advantage of the demise of Syrian dictator, all right? And Bashar Assad is not a dictator, man, all right? He was ruling his people fairly in his nation, all right? He's only a dictator and a tyrant now because he don't want to play ball with the West. And notice how these small hats, all right, they at first it was Hamas, right? All right, they were on this campaign to expel Hamas. All right, then when they went up into Lebanon, now they fight the Hezbollah. Now they're in Syria and it's ISIS. So you see the theme here, all right? These devils, they always have to have a boogeyman to fight as a guise to justify their wickedness in these certain nations, man. All right. And in the West, they're not telling you what's really going on. They're not telling you the truth of the matter. All right. What you're seeing on the news is all propaganda. All right. Because believe me, in these nations such as Syria, they know what's happening to their nation. All right. Even when you go back to the time of Muammar Gaddafi, all right, the West had a certain narrative that they pushed. They said, oh, he was a dictator. Oh, he was killing his own people. Oh, he was starving his people out, this, that, the third. Well, no such thing was happening. As a matter of fact, you look to Libya during the time of Muammar Gaddafi, the people had free health care, all right? They had free education. They had free housing. If they wanted to go abroad and study, the government paid for it, all right? No Libyan was homeless, all right? The people had jobs. They had a very good quality of life, all right? And because Muammar Gaddafi, he wanted to, pretty much make the system that he was running in Libya available to all African nations to be independent from the West. That's why they had to go in and take him out. And they did it under the guise of, oh, he's a dictator. He's doing this to his people. He's doing that. All right. So that was grounds for them to destroy that man and destroy that country to this very day. The same thing is happening in Syria and many places in which the West is involved worldwide. All right, so Esau, he's not interested in, people running their nations fairly. All right, he wants a system of oppression to be set up in these nations, man. All right, to where ultimately he can come in and capitalize off of that oppression with BlackRock and these certain, firms and, you know, economic extortionist regimes. That's really what they are, to go in and take control. All right, so this man Esau, he's truly the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. All right, Yahweh Shah said that the thief coming not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And who is that thief? All right, when you read in the book of Job, it tells you that the Edomites, they were chased away. They cried after them as after a thief. You see what I'm saying? So the thief is Esau, Edom, and his MO is to steal, to kill, and to destroy, and overall to deceive. All right. It says after Assad's family ruled over Syria for more than 50 years, Assad was forced to flee Syria to Russia, where he was granted asylum when a coalition of largely radical Islamist groups led a sweeping offensive across Syria and captured the country's capital city. CENTCOM announced on Sunday that it has conducted strikes against ISIS leaders, operatives, and camps as part of an ongoing mission to disrupt, degrade, and defeat ISIS. You see that bullshit right there? All right? To quote unquote disrupt, degrade, and defeat ISIS. So this is all under the guise of fighting ISIS. Okay, just as the same thing. All right, when them small hats went up into Gaza and they was over there, still to this day, just committing all kind of atrocious acts. All right, raping the people. All right, starving them out. Putting them into detention camps and doing all manner of ungodliness. All right, to them Palestinians. It was all under the guise of what? Fighting Hamas, which is complete bullshit. All right, these devils, like I just said, man, their main thing is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. All right, but ISIS is the strong justification for them to do this. Specifically, CENTCOM is working to prevent the terrorist group from conducting operations to ensure ISIS did not seek to take advantage of the current situation to reconstitute in central Syria. And another thing, when is the last time that you really heard of ISIS? Salakia. When is the last time that you really heard of ISIS, man? You know, like me personally, I don't think I've heard anything about ISIS being active for about 8, 9 years. All right, maybe maybe I'm missing something here, but last time I checked, ISIS was defeated. ISIS wasn't a factor anymore. All right, for pretty much this year, it was Hamas. Hamas was the since October 7th last year, they was fighting Hamas. Okay, now it's ISIS. This all makes no sense. During the operation, CENTCOM forces struck over 75 targets using U.S. Air Force assets like B-52s, F-15s, and A-10s. Damage assessments are currently underway. All right. This is a quote from them. It says, "There should be no doubt we will not allow ISIS to reconstitute and take advantage of the current situation in Syria," General Michael Eric Kurilla said. "All organizations in Syria should know that we will hold them accountable if they partner with or support ISIS in any way." Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said on Sunday that the people of Syria finally have a reason for hope. These people are the devil, man. All right, yeah. So now that you've quote unquote destroyed ISIS from out of Syria, now the Syrian people now they have a reason for hope, right? When they was doing just fine before you devils showed up. You see that? Adding, the U.S. strongly supports a peaceful transition of power to an accountable Syrian government. In other words, what they're saying is, we're going to set up our puppet leader in Syria to do what we want them to do. All right? Because Bashar Assad, he didn't want to play ball with us. So we had to destroy him out of there, use ISIS as a justification. So now we can bring in our people. All right, but see, all this thing, Slakia, give me 1 second. Salakia. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so basically, you know, now they say that people have a reason for hope. And the thing about it is, you know, this is all gonna backfire on Esau, because Esau, he truly believes that this is his foolproof plan to take advantage and to to take the resources from the Middle East, man. All right, but even these puppet leaders that he's gonna set up, yeah, they may play ball with you for a little while, but eventually they're gonna turn on you too. All right, because the only reason why these certain leaders would play ball with you now is because the odds is in Esau's favor. All right, but real soon the Lord is gonna flip the script. And it says that in Obadiah, they that have eaten thy bread have led thee even to the border. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Let's go to Obadiah. We can hold that. Obadiah. Obadiah 1-6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right, so Esau, because of his treacherous ways, all right, he's going to be betrayed eventually. Let's get that in the NLT. Obadiah 1-7 in the NLT. All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. You see that? Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. All right, so the time is going to come where, Esau, these puppet leaders, and even the nations that are allied with him, they're going to turn against him, and that's biblical prophecy. Okay, because, these things are going to happen real soon, because you have to keep in mind that we're in the end of Esau's world. So these prophecies are going to manifest themselves in real time. Okay, but this is all that these devils do, man. They go around the earth, they cause problems, disrupt, same thing they got going on in Georgia. All right, in the country of Georgia, they're staging a coup over over there because the leader of Georgia, he's pro-Russian. All right, he's pro-Putin. So now they're looking to get him out of there. All right, went into that the other day. To where George Soros and the elite bankers, they're pretty much flying in, busing in rebels to cause confusion within that country. All right, so that they can do the same thing that they're doing here in Syria and many other nations. All right, so Esau's time is limited. You know what I'm saying? His reign of terror on the earth is coming to an end. Call Lord Yahweh Bashar Assad. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 17:1. The burden of Damascus, behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Now, Damascus, has been a hotbed of war for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's see if we can do this in Damascus. Because I remember years back, Jason A, he would do videos on Damascus because there was a lot going on in Damascus, right? Yeah, but you see, Damascus, Syria, that place now is a ruinous heap, man. All right, with all these wars that's going on over there. All right, completely through. You see, and why is this? It's all because of Esau. Okay, all because of the Edomites. You know, but yeah, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. The cities of Aurora are forsaken. They shall be for flocks which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Lord of hosts. And in that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. And it shall be as when the harvestman gathereth the corn, and reapeth the ears with his arm. And it shall be as he that gathereth ears in the valley of Rephaim. Yet gleaning grapes shall be left in it as the shaking of an olive tree, 2 or 3 berries in the top of the uppermost bough, 4 or 5 in the outmost fruitful branches thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashar Shai of Israel. Let's get the point. At that day shall a man look to his maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. Why? Because all these wars and destruction that's going on, right? People are going to look to biblical prophecy. Okay, they're going to take heed to the words of the prophets and understand what's befalling of it. This is the end of the world. Verse 8, and he shall not look to the altars, the work of his hands, neither shall respect that which his fingers have made, either the groves or the images. In that day shall the strong cities be as a forsaken bough and an uppermost branch, which they have left because of the children of Israel, and there shall be desolation. All right. So Syria has become a desolation, man. All right. And this speaks to the last days, because when you go back to Genesis, it tells you that one of the reasons why the Lord brought the flood on the earth was because the earth was full of violence. Okay, it was death. It was a lot of war going on. It was a lot of deceit. People just betraying each other, putting each other to death. Right, that's what was going on in the days of Noah. Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So the fact that all these wars are going on within the earth, all these diseases, and just people just being overly wicked, right? This is a sign of the times. All right. But let's see, because even in the days of Noah, although the earth was extremely wicked, all right, you still had people doing what? Verse 38, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And I can testify to this because I know of, many people that have now been engaged, and set to be married. all right, within the last year or two. All right. People going out to parties, having these big events, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing this in real time, and every time I see it, it reminds me of this scripture right here. All right, which shows and proves, man, that, that we're in that time. The Lord is about to return very soon. All right, people having the time of their life, you know what I'm saying? People are talking about 2025 is going to be a turning point, but they believe that it's for the better. All right, but it's only going to be for the worse. Okay. So this is, we are truly living in the days of Noah all over again, the end of this earth age. All right, verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. So, hey, Yahweh Bashar Shai is coming back, man. And these wars that you see going on in the earth, all this destruction, all this deception that's being pushed, because on one hand, you have Esau pushing his deception, but the lies are not prevailing anymore. All right. Now people are challenging his narrative, proving that he don't control the narrative no more. All right, which is also a sign that this man is on the way out, because there was a time when Esau, he was able to operate with impunity, right? He was able to, pretty much push whatever narrative that he wanted, and the people would believe it because they didn't have access to any alternative information. Now, people have access to information through the internet, all right? So this man going down. Jay-Z named in lawsuit over miner's grape alongside the dealer, all right? And notice how they only putting, Salaki, notice how they only putting Jake out there. All right. It was one other guy. There was a Jake as well. I forget his name. But so far, it's the Diddler and Jay-Z. You know, you don't see none of these Edomites. Oh, Salakia, forgive me. They did put Tom Hanks out there. All right. They put Tom Hanks out there. Oh, and it was Obama. All right. So, well, which Obama is not a Jake, but so-called black faces that they want to put out there as the face of debauchery. When truly, where did they learn it from? All right. If they're out there doing these things, well, they learned it from Esau. All right. Jake ain't know nothing about no, freak offs and all this type of stuff, man. All right. Jake learned it from them, which I'm not giving Jay-Z a pass or Diddy or none of these people because, all of them wicked as hell and the Lord going to destroy them. But just saying, why is it that you put the so-called blackface out there, but all these Edomites that are at that are at the top, you don't hear nothing about them. Now of course, they'll throw a few sacrificial lambs out there, just to even the playing field. But still, man, the people that have done the most wickedness, that are really responsible for all this, they'll never be brought up on charges in this world, man, because they got the money and the connections to escape. All right. These motherfuckers, they when it's all said and done, they gonna be in a bunker somewhere. All right. A deadly outbreak of Marburg or bleeding eye virus leads to travel advisory. All right. Pestilence in these last days. You see, drones spotted in the Philadelphia area as FBI continues to investigate. All these drones that they've been seeing. You know. So hey, look, man, something big is about to go down. All right, we're living in some some very strange times. All right, check that out. Scientists reveal the exact date of Yahweh Shai's birth. They say it was not on December 25th. And then we been told you this, man. All right, the Hebrew Israelites, been told you that Yahweh Shai's birthday is not no goddamn December 25th. All right, Yahweh Shai was born in the springtime. Okay, around the time of the Passover. Okay, because the fact that the sheep, were out there, that the shepherds were out there, grazing the sheep, that would incline that it couldn't have been wintertime because there wouldn't have been no grass out there for the sheep to eat. Right, the fact that the sheep were in the pasture, testifies that Yahweh Shai, was born in the springtime. All right, when there was still lush grass on the ground. That's just one clue. I mean, we've gone into it deeper. But Yahweh birthday was not no December 25th. Okay, really that goes back to you know, ancient Babylonian deities, Semiramis, Tammuz, you know what I'm saying? So really when you celebrate that pagan Christmas holiday, you're really celebrating devils, okay? And now, even Esau, now he's coming out and telling you this. All right? So that whole religion of Christianity, man, because listen, Christmas is coming up. You're gonna see all these Christian churches decked out with with the tree and the decorations and everything, man. All right, showing you that Christianity is not of the Lord, man. The Lord ain't dealing with no damn Christianity. U.S. Food and Drug Administration moves to ban red food dye. But why now? Why are you moving to ban it now? All right, when you've been known that it's been toxic. All right, once again, man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And see, one thing that you got to realize is that the earth will never be at peace until the man of sin is taken out the way. All right, all these wars are going to continue to go on until Esau, he's taken out the way. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson right here. Lord willing, this was edifying through the Rakakadash. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect, Kom Yasha'Allah, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.